90 seconds, so you can start your timers now. So as Billy said, my name is Robby Etzkin, and I know that Billy took a lot of time to make up some facts about me. Some of that points maybe wasn't true, but I appreciate the compliments nonetheless. I am, in fact, the Assistant Executive Director of the JCC of Greater Orlando, and previously I was here in Austin, Texas for a little over 6 years as the Youth and Team Director, and through that role, I got to be involved in Maccabi, the JCC Maccabi games. When Reagan here called me and asked me to present a Torah, I immediately said yes and thought, what a great honor. And then I started to think, what am I going to say that is going to connect sports and Torah, or sports and Judaism? So I did what any camp director would do, and I went through old binders, old spirals, notebooks, any type of resource I could find. And one particular book stuck out at me. And no, Daniel Guzik, it was not a coloring book that you would probably think. Instead, it was this book right here. So look familiar to anyone? If you're in the back and you can't see, this is the Great Jews in Sports book. Copyright 1981. So this book, and we have some giggles here, has been the butt of many jokes. Maybe some good-natured, maybe some insulting, who knows? The most common joke goes, wait, what? A book called Great Jews in Sports? Ha ha ha, it must be a really short book. As I thought about it, I tried to wrap my head around how a joke like that makes me feel as a Jewish person, as a Jewish leader, as a Jewish community center employee. And I wasn't embarrassed, I decided, I wasn't mad, I wasn't upset, I actually just didn't care. And I thought to myself, how can someone as passionate as me about sports, and by the way, I was the mascot at the University of Florida. I was a big, fat, furry green alligator, sweating like no one, as disgusting as a swamp if you've ever been there. Go Gators. So I couldn't really figure out how I could not care so much that this joke would be made. But then after a lot of thought, I figured out that the answer is actually quite simple. Sports can teach us so much, regardless of our accomplishments, and I would argue that children and teens can actually learn a lot more from losing than winning. Coaches and role models who are trusted have the most important job, like Reagan said. And when it comes down to it, guess what? The majority of our teams are going home without gold medals. And guess what? That is okay. It's okay because we have a room full of all of you. We have a room full of trained and qualified coaches and role models right here that are undoubtedly going to be able to help our teams shake off a mistake, help them move past a tough loss, help them appreciate the bigger experience that is the JCC Maccabi games. In this week's Torah portion, Parshat Ekev, we learn that Jewish people have actually been giving pep talks for over 3,000 years. In fact, most of the book of Deuteronomy is kind of like a locker room speech or a huddle. The Israelites are preparing to cross into the promised land of Israel. Despite all the miracles they've experienced, they actually still need a pep talk. The consequences for losing or not following God's ways are pretty drastic, much more so than losing any small sports game. Yet to hear athletes and coaches talk, sometimes I wonder if we are good at remembering that. And even parents too who push their kids, oftentimes too much, to win at youth sports and in arts. Ultimately, the lesson in Parshat Ekev is listen to what I'm telling you. And I'm telling you this for your own good. Sounds pretty much like a coach to me. It's possible that the Jewish people kept losing because we didn't listen so good back then. And well, maybe we aren't still listening very well right now, but at least our streak of really bad luck seems to be thinning out. Winning a medal is great, but it's not the whole world. Now I know what you're thinking. Yeah, good one, buddy. Come and tell my teens that. Come and tell my teens' parents that. Well, as much as our teens might not be able to comprehend the greatness of the experience they're about to have for the next 5 days, it is our job as the role models to help them understand the greater experience that they're having. There are over 1,000 volunteers here in Austin mobilized that our teams from around the world can have this great Jewish experience, and probably another 1,500 or so, maybe 2,000 in Orange County next week. Not to mention there are countless past host cities and future host cities that I have to tell you probably aren't so concerned or remember who won the medals. They're doing this because they believe in giving back. They're doing this because they believe in Jewish programming. They do this because they believe the JCC Maccabi games are more than just sports. The JCC Maccabi games are an experience that strengthen Jewish identity, teach life lessons, and connect the future of the Jewish people on an international level. Now please do not misinterpret my message. When the teams are on the court, in the field, in the pool, we totally want them to win. And furthermore, when they do win, we want them to enjoy winning. But more importantly than all of that, we want our teams to get to know each other, to make connections, to overcome adversity, and to feel a sense of pride of being Jewish. After all, pride in being Jewish was probably the original purpose of this book. Did it backfire? Maybe, y'all can decide for yourselves. Being here is both a massive responsibility and an awesome opportunity. After all, I believe it's way more important for our teams to be written in the good book than to get published in the short book. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robby, for an excellent Torah.